Your tax refund is late and you don't know why? Well, in this video, I will go through 5 reasons why your tax refund could be delayed. And then I'm going to talk to you about steps that you can take to get your money, because you're not playing with that. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any wealth building information. And if you watch this entire video, I will give you a little strategy for getting in touch with IRS and getting action immediately. So let's get after it. Number 1, when you have an error on your tax return, IRS takes your return and goes, next, and it goes in a stack of problems. And that then delays your tax return because they need to have somebody manually work your return. So what you can do, you can call IRS up and you can find out what's the issue with your return, and you can get the employee identification number of the person that is working your return, and you get them any necessary information. Number 2, you will be surprised at how many taxpayers are missing information with their tax return. Not because anything was done wrong, absolutely not, but because right now the majority of tax returns that get filed are filed electronically. Well, you know what happens with technology? Part of the file drops out in transmission, or there was a form that IRS wanted, but that form could not be sent electronically. So then later on, they're going to request it from you. So typically, when there is missing or incomplete information on your tax return, you are going to get a notice in the mail. But since the mail is slow and super slow when you're waiting on a refund, I always say create an IRS account online or call IRS, try to find out immediately what is missing, gather that documentation, and make sure you send that documentation into them. And when you send that documentation, make sure your name and social security number is on the documentation. And if you have a letter, match it up with the letter so that the paperwork can get connected and get processed faster. Priority mailing it is not going to get it processed faster. Priority mailing it, certified mailing it is going to make certain IRS receives it, but it doesn't mean that they're going to process your paperwork any sooner. So you might not even want to waste your money on priority mail or certified mail in a situation like that. Number 3, somebody has become you. So many taxpayers get their identity stolen, and it happens in some of the most common places. People that you know and trust at the bank, at the mortgage office, people that have all of your information. And then there are scammers out there online that are looking for your information. If you find out you have identity theft, you are going to want to lock down your credit report, and you're also going to want to lock down your tax filing by getting yourself an identity theft PIN. Anytime you're doing anything with IRS, it requires your own PIN to be entered in the system that only you know to authenticate yourself. Kind of like our PINs we use for our debit cards and other things that we have. You can get an identity theft PIN by going to irs.gov or by filling out form 15227 and sending it in to Internal Revenue Service. I highly recommend that you get an identity theft PIN because you're going to have to wait to prove your identity to IRS to get your refund. And that is going to be a long process. Something you absolutely are going to have to do if there's identity theft. But to prevent that in the future, get that identity theft PIN. Number 4, if you filed your tax return and you got a refundable credit, for example, an earned income tax credit, or refundable child tax credit, or refundable educational credit. IRS knows that there's a lot of fraud in refundable credits. And what I mean by refundable credit, remember, credits are just like dollars against tax. If you owe IRS $1,000 and you have a $500 credit, well, you technically 1,000 minus 500, you only owe IRS $500. But let's say you owe IRS zero and you have a $500 refundable credit. That means that that money is going to come back to you. Because of that, IRS will take their time to make sure that they investigate that you are actually entitled to those refundable credits. Many times they will put your refund on hold and just put it on ice, making sure that nobody else is claiming that same tax credit that you are entitled to for your situation. Number 5, let's just face it, as much as we think IRS has it all together, they're human. They do not. They don't have it any further together than you as business owners. They have employees calling off. They had employees get COVID. They have employees retiring. They had employees working from home. So as a result of that, they are backlogged. They are trying to catch up. A lot of seasoned IRS professionals retired during COVID. So now IRS is trying to backfill for staffing. They're trying to catch up on their paperwork. And as a result of that, your refund may be coming to you, but they just haven't gotten to it yet. But here's the thing, my friends, you can always file Form 911. Yes, Form 911. You can get taxpayer advocate involved. And if your issue is affecting you financially, they will get with IRS and see if they can speed up your refund. They will also help with other things that you need help with. So Form 911 is a powerful tool when you really need help with the Internal Revenue Service. Now that you know better, you absolutely got to do better. That is why I want you to like, I want you to comment, and I want you to subscribe so I can keep you updated on all things business, wealth building, and tax.
Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I also want to introduce you to a program that I have called Tax Pro Grow. Why? Because you may be looking for a side hustle, you may be looking for a business to run, you may be looking for some extra cash, or you just might be concerned about this whole recession thing, or somebody giving you a pink slip. Well, Tax Pro Grow could potentially be your answer because it's a business that you can do where no one is in charge but you. And here's the great thing about Tax Pro Grow. You don't need to have a tax license. You don't need to have tax knowledge. You don't need to have a degree. You don't need anything but a willingness to learn. And I break down all the steps through my system and process. I literally take my 25 years of experience, all the mistakes I made, all the lessons I've learned, and I packaged it up in a system and process that is foolproof, that you will be able to utilize and start making money. I literally guarantee it. I am going to invite you to join me on this journey of Tax Pro Grow because I want you to start making an endless amount of money, and I want you to be in control of your destiny. If you are interested in starting now, I want you to click on the link. And when you do, you're going to learn everything that you need to know. You're going to learn how to offer the service. You're going to learn how to sell a client. You're going to learn how to do marketing. And here's the other great thing. You will even get leads because we offer that too. People that are willing to pay you for the service that you're going to easily be able to offer because the value is going to be there. So if you need some extra cash, you want to make an endless amount of money, or you just thinking, maybe you just want to do something different, click on that link and join me for the Tax Pro Grow program. I guarantee you, you'll be thanking me for doing so.